1,000 paper cranes, one wish for life. But time was running out. This is the story of Sadako Sasaki. Sadako Sasaki grew up like any other child, full of energy, laughter, and dreams. She was born in 1943 in Hiroshima, Japan, during a time of great hardship. Despite the challenges her family faced during World War II, Sadako was a bright and joyful child. She loved to run, often racing through the streets with her friends, her feet barely touching the ground as she soared past them. She was fast, so fast that her classmates called her a lightning bolt. She had big dreams of becoming the best runner in her school, and maybe even competing at a national level one day. But unknown to her, a silent threat had been growing inside her since the day she was born. A past she could not remember was still lingering in her body. On August 6, 1945, when Sadako was just 2 years old, the world changed forever. The first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. In an instant, the city was engulfed in fire, and tens of thousands of people lost their lives. Miraculously, Sadako and her family survived. Their home was about a mile away from the epicenter of the explosion, and while it was damaged, they managed to rebuild their lives in the years that followed. Like many others, they believed they had escaped the worst. For years, Sadako showed no signs of illness. She grew stronger, faster, and more determined to achieve her dreams. She trained every day, pushing herself to run faster than ever. She was chosen to compete in a school relay race, and as expected, she ran with incredible speed. The crowd cheered as she crossed the finish line, victorious. But then, something happened. A dizziness overtook her, and she collapsed. At first, she brushed it off as exhaustion. But the dizziness returned. Soon, small purple spots began appearing on her skin. She kept it to herself for as long as she could, not wanting to worry her family. But eventually, the truth could not be ignored. In 1954, when Sadako was just 11 years old, she was diagnosed with leukemia, what many in Japan called atomic bomb disease. The radiation from that fateful day in 1945 had left its mark on her body, even though it had taken years to reveal itself. She was admitted to the hospital, and the doctors gave her only a few months to live. It was devastating news. For a child so full of life, being confined to a hospital bed seemed unbearable. But Sadako refused to surrender to despair. She held on to hope. One day, her best friend, Shizuko, visited her in the hospital and brought with her a simple gift, an origami paper crane. Shizuko told Sadako about an ancient Japanese legend. If a person folds 1,000 paper cranes, they will be granted a wish. It was said that the crane, a sacred bird in Japan, could bring healing and longevity. Sadako took this legend to heart. If folding 1,000 cranes could give her another chance at life, she would do it. With every crane she folded, she whispered a wish, for healing, for strength, for more time. She folded through her pain, through her fatigue. The delicate folds of each paper crane became a testament to her unbreakable spirit. Even as her body weakened, her determination remained strong. Her fingers, once nimble and quick, began to tremble. But she kept going, each crane filled with a silent prayer. Some days, the pain was overwhelming and she could only fold a few. Other days, she managed to fold dozens. She reached 100, then 200, then 500. But time was running out. Her body was failing her, even as her heart willed her to keep going. By the time she reached 644 cranes, she could fold no more. Her friends and family, seeing the strength she had shown, picked up where she left off. They folded the remaining cranes, bringing the total to 1,000. But despite their efforts, Sadako's illness was too strong. On October 25, 1955, Sadako took her last breath. She was just 12 years old. But her story did not end there. Sadako's classmates and friends were deeply moved by her courage and her unwavering hope. They wanted to honor her memory and the memories of all the children who suffered because of the atomic bomb. They started a movement, raising funds to build a monument in her honor, a symbol of peace and remembrance. Their efforts led to the creation of the Children's Peace Monument in Hiroshima's Peace Park. At the top of the monument stands a statue of Sadako, arms outstretched, holding a golden paper crane. Beneath it, a plaque reads, "This is our cry. This is our prayer. Peace in the world." Even today, decades later, thousands of people from around the world send paper cranes to Hiroshima as a tribute to Sadako and as a symbol of hope. Schools, communities, and peace organizations continue to share her story, ensuring that her wish was not just for herself, but for a world without war. Sadako once wrote, "I will write peace on your wings, and you will fly all over the world." And so, her message continues to soar. In every folded crane, in every child who learns her story, in every person who wishes for a better world, Sadako's hope lives on. Her dream of peace did not die with her. It became something greater, something that still echoes across time. She was just a child, but her voice, her courage, and her hope have left a lasting mark on the world. And as long as people fold paper cranes and strive for peace, Sadako Sasaki will never be forgotten. Subscribe for more incredible stories from history.